Hello, everyone. Hey, uh, caught you on unawares there. Good afternoon to all you fellow wood turners out there. Uh, Today we're going to do a wee bit of spindle work, and I'll just bring me earworm. We have Doug from Wood Spin Around to help
Good
me
morning, everybody. Good morning.
and tell me who's in later on. So we'll put Doug in the background. Uh, there we are. So,
At least it's
guys,
working so far.
so guys, I have a piece of rippled ice here, and it's 11 inches long, about 2 3/4 wide. And today, this is a wee bigger, and these are the pieces that you will require for to make this piece. Okay, so there's a wee bit of work involved in it. I don't know how we'll go on time. I made one yesterday, just to see how it went. But anyway, uh, I prepared. Only thing I have done to this is put the tannin on it, and put it in the chuck. So while I'm roughing this down, Doug can tell me who's in, and we'll get tore into it. Okay.
We can do that. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see all of you. It's starting out a foggy morning here. It's not a dense fog like it was a couple of days ago, but it's a little foggy. I can't see across the valley a little ways. Um, Anyhow, it's going to be a grand day. It's always a grand day. I'm going to go from the participants list this morning, which puts them in alphabetical order. We got Brian Best. We got Brian Elsmere, Bandera. Chris Dodds is in the house. Gary Glass is with us. Gerard, their French Turner. Gerard, you can change your name to Gerard the Lazy Turner now. The time is yours. Mike Evans is in. Robert Baltwood. Hello, Robert. Todd is in. Woodworth. And Vinny Charlton is in. That's all I have at the moment.
Well, welcome along, everyone.
William Kenny just popped in. Hello, William.
We'll stop and have a wee look to see where we're around yet. No, we're still one big flat there. So we'll just move our two rest in a wee bit. Okay. So we'll just bring this to around, and then I have to sort of mark out where my shape is going to be.
Ruby Claire has joined us. Hello, Ruby. Good to see you today. As has
Well,
Dale, Old Man Woodturner. Hello, Dale.
welcome along. Right, we'll just stop that and have a wee look. For all the late people in there, this is a piece of ribbled ice. So we're making a figure and get some sizes. So the overall size of this piece is, uh, where's my ruler? It's just over 9 inches tall. Where's my pencil now? Lost my pencil. Yeah. So 9. So roughly here. That's where we want to shape it from, and then you have a bit of shape that goes in about 4.5, somewhere there, and next one is around about a 7.5, which is about here. So I don't know why I'm marking these because I'm going to turn them away again, but it gives you a sort of a layout. to let you know where I'm heading. So we'll continue with the removing of the timber. This is going to be the head part. This is going to be the shoulders, and then as it comes down from the shoulders into the waist, and then hips, and then down to the legs. So it's an interesting wee piece. As I said to Doug earlier, I made a few of these in the past, and they seem to sell quite well. So we'll just use the roughing gouge to remove some of this timber. Made it quite move quite a bit of it. Just want to check, don't go too far. Right, okay, that's all right.
Todd says the video began after Paul began talking. What's he making? Well, it's a secret, Todd. Not a secret, but it will reveal itself here very shortly. So just hold on.
I'm just removing waste timber from it. To get me down to me where I want to put the shape into it. So
Roger Kent has joined us. Hello, Roger.
Hi, Roger.
Yes, Todd, the title does say a nice little lady. Is that a hint or not? Maybe, maybe not. You'll see
Right.
here
Okay.
shortly.
So I want to form.
Rob the professor has joined us. Hello, Rob.
Right. Okay. Change the word. I'm a spindle gouge. Going to change gouges. That one doesn't seem very sharp.
That's better.
So I'm just roughing in the shape at the minute. Wee bit more timber to take away. Back to roughing gouge.
Copper Owl is in the house. Hello, Copper.
I just mark a bit of waste at the bottom here before going any further. So if you get your rough shape in, you can always tweak it later, as long as you don't go too far from your main points of shape. I think that's where I want to be with that. I'm just move that over a wee bit, just so that I can see it. Right, I want to change over there.
All right. Should be fairly obvious now, Todd, where Paul is going with this. Huh. Chris, sorry I didn't read that out earlier, but Chris said at least you didn't say oops. I wasn't sure what that oops was because the heart was over it. That's Todd reminded everybody to hit the thumbs up for the mystery shape. The mystery shape should be coming into focus for you. No,
And
not a giant.
there's a lot of these on the website. People are starting various shapes. There's a whole lot of different ways you can do this, shape-wise. I'm just trying to get where I'm happy at. I think I'll just do we tidy up here.
Todd has guessed a giant salt shaker. No, I don't think it's a salt shaker.
Just take a wee bit off the middle there.
Robert has a question for you. He says, Paul, you say these sell fairly well. What sort of money?
Hold on to stop that. What's that?
You had said they sell fairly well. What kind of money are you talking about?
About £40.
40 pounds. Wow.
And depending on how much you want to put into it, decorations, it's up to yourself. Some people paint them. I've seen some really looks well when they're painted, different parts of it, and they match the figure. And for what she's wearing.
Let's see. Professor has said it's a lady, probably with a hat. And then
Yes.
door 60 is in. William Kinney says it's a female pepper mill. Uh, Chris says,
No,
I got it wrong. It's a pepper grinder. No, no.
I'm just using the round nose scraper here to give my neck the shape. I just want to take it out a wee bit in there so it sort of. But I think I'm happy enough with that shape. So
Greg Alexander has joined us. Hello, Greg.
unless you have one of these in front of you, you're doing it from memory, from seeing it from the picture. So I've already done one yesterday from the picture, and again, it doesn't have to be this size. It can be smaller. It's just whatever way you come to turn it. Right, I think I'm happy enough with that. So we'll get that sanded up and see what it's like, and then we can move on to the next part. So just get the dust extraction on.
Pete Twisted Trees is in. That's hello, Pete.
Hi,
Greg
Pete.
Alexander.
So you want to sand this quite well because it's going to be a finished piece, and the better you leave it, the better it'll look. And depending on what timber you use, it doesn't really matter.
Norman Greenwell has dropped in. Hello, Norman.
Hi, Norman. Just have a wee look at that and see what's next. So, as I said, this is a piece of rippled ice. And you can use contrasting woods for the accessories you're going to be making, if you wish. Stop and have a look, check if sanding's okay before we move on to the next grit. Looks all right. That's what one's do. That actually sounded up better than I thought it was going to be, because I've had that bit of ice laying in the corner over there for quite a while, and it looked a wee bit rough in places, and I wasn't sure what way it was going to turn. So I cut the two sealed ends off it, just to make sure it wasn't rotten down the center, and it looked okay. Sometimes you get blanks that they're covered in wax. Then sometimes they're covering bits and pieces you don't want on your turning. So hopefully there's no inclusions on these wee bits.
Right.
Right, that's okay. So we're going to give that a coat of sand sealer.
And my dad was given some maple logs. Somebody else had cut them up, just big blocks, and I was helping him get a couple of them cut down into blanks. And when we split into one of them, it had about a half to 3/4 inch hole running all the way up the pith. It where the ants and worms had gotten into it and water. So
What a feast.
yeah, we lost a little bit of wood there, but we were still able to get some pretty nice bulb lengths out of it. Even after we cut that away, it's pretty nice. It was maple, but it had spalted very, very nicely.
Right. So I just want to take a wee bit more waste away from the head here. I'll just use a skew. So take it in a wee bit more. That should do. Just just get that at the end, and then I can take the nub off that and finish the head. So I'll just remove that. Being gentle with it because it's still quite a long way from the headstock.
Pete, you have a good one. He's got to go. Let the guy that's going to work on his van is there at the house, so he's got to go. So, Pete, you have a great day. Hope it's not a big deal. Shane Hurst has come in. Hello, Shane.
Right, there's the tailstock now. Okay, so that's like about a wee sand. The top here, the head isn't important as long as you get half of it done, because you're going to be covering half of it with a hat. So anybody who was in the doubts what was going to be, you should give you a clue now with a hat and a head.
I think they pretty well got it now, Paul. They finally figured it out. Gerard is saying he did one last summer for his son's mother. It was her 60th birthday, and he gave her an umbrella, and the missus knitted a small handbag. He gave her 2 arms. So, yeah, very nice. Sounds very nice, Gerard.
Yeah, well, we're going for something similar.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a wee taste of Yorkshire grit on this. So we'll just give us a wee working in. The longer you can work it into the piece, the better.
Only time I've tried one of these was when one of Steve's hashtag week was, um, whatever the hashtag week was called, and mine ended up. No, it wasn't for that either. It was our 12 our 12-month challenge. Every month we had a challenge going on, and it was, I guess mannequin was the theme.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the whole thing. I just did like the head, shoulders down to the waist. It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't great. I need to try one like this. These are awfully neat.
They're a nice wee bit of work
Yeah.
involved in them, but it's good practice too, because it gives you a wee a go at practicing your spindle turning and
Right.
mounting different pieces different ways, chucking holes and stuff. That's a big part of it, for the hat and the
Mm-hmm.
umbrella
Yeah.
and bits and pieces. So we're just finishing off with a wee taste of wax on that, and we'll get stuck into the hat.
I must have reminded Todd, and he reminds me. There were some very nice pieces submitted for Steve's hashtag week for the zip
Yeah,
vases or laced vases or whatever.
there were
Um,
some nice ones there.
Very nice. Yeah.
So initially, uh, that's the top as it looks. Just looking at it over here. Oh,
Getting those proportions from shoulder down
yeah.
is a pretty big deal too.
So as I said, you can use any timber you want. This is a piece of mahogany I have, and I need my calipers to measure my side for my. Where's my jam chuck? You will need a jam chuck of some sorts, unless you can do it different to me. So these are set. So that's right. It's the same size it was yesterday, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Just set that out of the way. There's the sand and sealer away for 6 again. Right. So I'll just mark the size of this out. Okay. So and you can do various shapes and stuff in these. You can make it the rectangle or pound a wee bits off it and put some shape into it. But today I'm just making it round. So you want a space for the head to sit. I'll just bring the piece over and try the head on that. So needs a wee bit more. A wee bit more. Right, okay. Just have to watch my depth here because
Always amazes me how deep that hole has to be for that little bit of a head.
yeah. Right. I can fix that.
Now thinking of Steve's hashtag weeks, it's folks, if you're not participating in that, I would encourage you to give it a whirl. Even if it's not your general style of turning, um, it's something to challenge you and your skills with. Just like this shape that Paul is doing today. Most of us don't turn figures for on a regular basis, but it's just good practice and it gets us out of our routine. Um, I honestly believe that a project like this once in a while would help your turning in general. So I'll be trying one of these. I may not show it in public, but that's okay. It may be like one of Pete's turning. I turn it, finish it, look at it for about 10 seconds, and it goes in the fire. But that's okay. I challenge my skills by doing it. So
So we'll just sand that up before we turn it around. Where's my sandpaper?
kind of one of the points of our doing our live demos is to give you ideas, to challenge you. Um, I love it when somebody takes one of my ideas and does it, even improves on it. That means I did something right.
Take some of this wood away. I think they're a nice wee project. If
Sure
you
it is.
spend a bit of time, it's not really a good project for a demo as such because you're always thinking about the time it's going to take you to make it. But if you're in your own workshop and you have a bit of time, just take your time on it and work all the different aspects of the turning of it and the different methods for holding the pieces, the wee pieces and stuff. And once you've ironed all those out, you can sort of fire through it quite quickly because you know what you're going to the next move, Just seeing a picture of it, you're going saying, well, there's a hat. How do you make a hat? And how do you turn it around? And how do you hold it? And stuff. All these things
Right.
are
Yeah, sometimes
part of
what looks like a simple project could mean a lot of pre-planning. Um, and without the pre-planning, you can get a little frustrated. But Guys, don't let a future frustration keep you from trying something. Sometimes you got to do it two, three, four times.
Yeah,
Um, yeah.
it's just said, if you go into Pinterest, you'll see quite a lot of them, different shapes, different ideas. Some are textured, some are colored,
Hmm.
and they look really well, you know. Uh,
The the couple, when people do the man and the woman,
yeah,
those are those can be stunning. Forget who I saw that um, painted the female figure. I guess it was all white maybe, and
uh,
the male figure was all black, I believe. And honestly, it was stunning. Um, well, everything except the head and neck, I think. I think they left the head and neck of both figures natural, if I'm remembering right.
just to be
But
just the sun shooter.
yeah, these can be done natural. They can be painted. Um, they don't have to be painted just one color. They could be painted multiple
Yeah,
colors.
some of them that I've seen, they've painted the dress up to the neck and shoulders, and
Hmm.
you know, formed that shape around the neck, and it
Yeah,
looks really well.
yeah.
But if you got a nice piece of timber, you know, you want to show it off. So it depends on the piece of timber, really.
It does. It does.
We don't want to cover something up. It's lovely grain
Or
on it, and
or you could even accent if you got some great grain. You could even accent that grain with a little bit of stain or dye rather. You don't want to cover up your grain. You want to let it show, but sometimes a bit of dye will accentuate that. Like on a burl, people talk about how awful it is to put color on a burl, but you put some color on a burl and those eyes, you would be amazed at the figure that can be seen in the eyes of those burls.
okay, so that's that part done.
Yeah,
So
Todd. Todd said if you make a kid, it'd be quicker. I don't know if it would. Um, Even though it'd be shorter, it wouldn't. You'd still have it would be more detailed for sure.
change
Oh yeah,
chucks.
yeah. Professor said his granddad used to embroider what he called the crinoline ladies with parasols. Absolutely, absolutely. With their big wide dresses, or the skirt of their dress was all the crinolines underneath. Not the hoop skirts, but crinolines. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it was both.
Some of them look really well, you know. It's, it's amazing what you can do with a bit of wood.
Yeah, Vinny said you got to look at you got to look at how many ways people laced up their vases on their hashtag week. Exactly. Um, yeah, everybody's imagining. If you leave it wide open like that, laced vessel, like Steve did, you get a wide variety, not only of the vessels, but of how it's laced. Um, I've done wire a few times, and I'm still not real happy with it. Um, this brass wire I've got is a little stiff, and so if it gets a little bit of a bend in it, it shows up. I haven't yet figured out how to
No.
get the bend out of them. Yarn, leather.
I'm just going to put down tuck here to put this hat on so I can turn it.
Yeah,
And this is
Robert.
all part of the making of it. You want all these bits to be involved, and you can see how it works to do all these different bits.
Robert said a lot of his turning is something he's seen somebody else turn and then thought he'd give it a go. Absolutely, Robert.
Yep, that's it. If you're stuck for an idea, go on to Pinterest and see all the different turnings that's on there, and yeah, whatever catches your eye, and have a wee go at it.
Sure.
You know, it's
E- Even on Facebook's the various pages that have been set up or groups been set up just for wood turners. It's amazing some of the stuff that's on there, from very very simple to very very complicated and everything in between.
yeah, yeah.
Todd says, "I bet you can turn a stick figure stick figure family in 30 minutes or less." Yeah, if they're like the ones I draw, you're right, Todd. I- People say, "Oh, you're so artistic," and I can't hardly draw stick figures. It's sad, um, but to put a piece of wood on and take away the parts I don't want. Um, I'm still learning, but it's getting better. I'm enjoying it more and more.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you make a mistake, don't really get too worried about it.
Right?
Start again.
Sure. It's wood. It grows on trees. Um, the only time to get too upset is when it's for somebody else. It's last second, and it's an expensive piece of wood or
Yeah,
something
that's
you
where
can't get
it,
locally.
it usually goes wrong when you're just about to finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a I've got a bowl that I had it finished about 4 times. The finish went bad every time, except this last time. And I got to a point. I just said, I'm done. I'm not fooling with it anymore because I don't want to mess it up. So, I mean, I had a beautiful lacquer finish. Went to buff it. That's where it went wrong.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the heaviest grid on the buffing wheel. It was the white diamond. And it burned through.
So
I was
that's
so
that
upset.
jam chucked onto that. Okay. So I will bring up the your tailstock just to give me a wee bit of support while I'm doing the outside bit, and make use of whatever you have to help you along. So that's not really one up tight on it. It's just there, and the wee pins went in on the spring, so that's probably enough tension to hold it on.
Mhm.
So,
Gerard
and
has
then
said if go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
the shape for the hat can be any shape you want. You can have it a dome. You can have it a raised like boater style hat style.
Mhm.
It's really up to you.
Gerard said if you do a couple, it's a nice token for a wedding present. Put them on a branch with the bark and turn a small flower to put in front of them.
Yeah,
That's an excellent idea. Oh, Ruby was asking was my piece a spalted piece? No, Ruby, it was the walnut practice piece that I did. Um, yeah, the lacquer had not cured enough, and I burned it right off. So I can't blame the wood at all. It's all me. Can't blame the lacquer. It's like I said, it's my fault. I had just said to myself, I'd like to. I said to myself, I'd like to let this sit another couple days, but I really need to get it done. It's that but that gets me in trouble every single time.
yeah, just being impatient uh,
Yeah.
and sometimes be your downfall.
Yep. In fact, Ruby, I was trying to show it and the actual piece that the off center bowls that I did. I was trying to get that walnut one finished up before I showed it Wednesday night. Of course, we didn't show Wednesday night, so I messed it up for no reason at all. But it's done now. It is done now.
And just want to change the 1/4" spindle gauge and just be gentle here, because remembering you have the hole in the inside for the head to fit up. So
That's where you can make a funnel real easy. Yeah, yeah. Gerard's saying he's made up some wood jaws so that he can actually grip the hat. That's a great idea, Gerard. Yeah.
that sounds a bit thin on it.
Somebody just recently showed how they did a whole video on how they make wood jaws. May have been Kerry Corney down in Australia, maybe. Several people have done it. That's a good project as well. Useful project. That would be neat. Ruby says you can buy straw hats at craft stores like Michael's or what have you, and yeah, that'd be really neat.
I bet it's the fun of turning the piece too
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes it.
yeah. It would just depend on how gussied up you want to make it. Yeah, straw hat for some. You could have several hats. A nice straw hat for spring and summer, and more of a fancy wood hat for fall and winter, or maybe several of them. The Easter coming up, a nice straw hat with some little micro-sized flowers in it would be pretty nice.
It's not going to come out. A wee bit of a catch on the end of that. So
Raymond Wise has joined us. Hello, Raymond.
hi, Raymond. Still a wee bit.
Yes, Glenn Teagle. He has a video on it. Yeah. 10 different wood jaws for different uses. Absolutely. Yeah, big. Chris said a big wide rim to keep the sun out of her eyes. Exactly. Exactly. It's pretty fun thinking about all the different hat designs that we can actually turn that people recognize it right off the bat.
Yeah. You get the odd person that comes up to you and says, "What is it?"
Yeah, right, right.
I've had that. Hmm.
I'm just sitting here thinking the wider I could make that rim, the easier it'd be for me to sell them as we get close to the Kentucky Derby. Um, People are buying anything that, if you call it Derby, they'll buy it. That's probably one of the most recognized sporting events in our country is the Kentucky Derby, even more than football and basketball and baseball. Of course, everybody knows them, but people who have nothing to do with any kind of sports whatsoever sit down on 5 o'clock that first Saturday in April and watch the Kentucky Derby.
So if you wanted, you could actually uh, paint this hat. You could tape it off and put a band around it. There's a whole lot of things you could do to it to make it unique. You know, uh, as you said, it's what you it's what you see in the piece, how you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make it. So I spent a wee bit of time on the hats and uh, the bits and pieces to make them nice, and they work out well.
Yeah, I misspoke. It's not the first Saturday in April, it's the first Saturday in May. Robert said, posh hats for Ladies' Day at the races. You're exactly right. Todd knows the Kentucky Derby. It's the fastest 2 minutes in sports. It is. And mint juleps for refreshment.
And it,
That may be why the Kentucky Derby is as well known as it is. The mint julep. Um, you watch the television coverage of it, and people walking around all over the place with mint juleps in their hands. Ruby said the horses are better looking than football and baseball players. That's funny. Yeah. Okay.
I'll just put a wee bit of polish on that, just buff it up.
Yeah, Gerard talking about the various uh, famous horse racing in across the world. If you know, you don't have to know anything about sports, very little about horse racing to know so many of the big horse races. You're exactly right, Gerard. I want to say Jared, and I know that's not right. Gerard.
Right.
A green hat for St. Pat's Day? Yeah, yeah, you could do that.
So we need to
Oh,
take that
Todd.
on.
Todd's letting Ruby know the horse barns are better than most houses in the area. You're exactly right. Throughout the bluegrass area, it is amazing. I had to make a delivery of. I had to take a sprayer, a big field sprayer. Go ahead, Paul. Oh, anyway. I had to take this big field sprayer out to a horse ranch, and I had to drive through what looked like a big tray. And that was, I asked the guy after I got through and into the barn, I said, what was that? What was the deal with driving through that big puddle of stuff? It was disinfectant. The truck tires and the trailer tires had to go through that disinfectant
Yeah.
as it came onto the horse farm. It was amazing. Amazing. Got the sprayer in the barn and got it all set up, and the guy didn't even want me to stand around and talk to him about it. He wanted me off the place as quick as possible. And it was all because of the health of those horses. They take it very, very seriously.
Right. So we're on to the umbrella part. So we'll make that, and then we'll see how we're doing for time. Don't want to keep us all from your lovely afternoon off. I need to measure that. Where's my calipers?
Todd, Todd's talking about when, as he was a kid growing up in the area, going out in the back roads. Yeah, going out Versailles Road toward Versailles out of Lexington. You got some of the biggest, best horse parks or horse farms there are. And of course, the Kentucky Horse Park is just north of Lexington, just outside, well, between Lexington and Georgetown. Beautiful part of the state with the bluegrass and the rolling hills. Yes, the Melbourne Cup there in Australia, Chris reminds us of. They go counterclockwise. No, they go clockwise. Ours go counterclockwise. Chris, is the Melbourne Cup on dirt or is that on grass? I don't know why it always seems odd to me to see horses running on grass. Most of the races, the big races here, are all done on dirt, which is pretty interesting. There's as much, I have found out, there's as much to do to take care of the dirt track as there would be a grass track, especially if it's been wet.
Well, I agree with it. I agree with it a little bit. Little bits. Right, so I need to drill a hole in the bottom of this before I go any further to take the stem for the umbrella. And this is a 4mm bit.
Robert lives about 20 minutes from, is that 20 minutes or 20 miles from the home of racing in New Market? Very good, very good. So you hear about it, I'm sure.
You know something? I just done that wrong. Oh dear.
Take your time. Take your time. As Gerard says, it's a bank holiday. Nobody's going anywhere.
I should. Where I went wrong, I should have done the outside of the umbrella first shape, but not to worry. We can jam chuck that into something as well.
Okay.
It's not a big thing, but all these things keep up on you. If you do something wrong, that you soon have to find another idea of holding it while you finish the outside. So this is just the stem going back up the umbrella to give your long piece, your straight stick, something to go into.
Chris, that's funny. Chris Dodd says he bet on a horse once. It couldn't run out of sight on a dark night. Oh, me. That is funny. Hadn't heard that one before. I've heard a lot of things before, but no, not that one.
So just finishing shape on the inside here. And I want to curve that up as well so it looks part of the umbrella. I'm just using the nose of the scraper to form my shape. Okay, so you don't want to put too much depth in this because the lighter the better. You know, you want to be top heavy, and the umbrella ending up pulling the piece over. Let's see, sand that up. And the other thing about making these wee figures, you have to make the bottom in such a way that it's not going to tip over. Uh, you know, if it's top heavy, so it's good to leave a wee bit of weight in the bottom of it in your design to help it sit on its flat. You don't want it falling over all the time. You go past it. It was 3 years ago. I took a load of them up to a craft fair. We was doing it. It was a really windy day, and I had them all sitting up on a wee platform, and the wind came along and blew the tent, and it knocked them all over.
Yeah.
It just
Yes.
it just fell like a row of shoulders, one after the other. Uh,
Gerard
I
has
was
asked.
just
Go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead.
I was going to, Paul, Gerard had asked you, what do you use for the umbrella stems? He uses bamboo skewers. He got a bunch of different sizes that he dared swipe from work when he left. Okay.
Barbecue skewers.
There you go. There you go. They come in awfully handy.
We are on the same wavelength, Jared. You
Absolutely.
know,
Those are if you don't work in a restaurant and can't swipe them, they're not very expensive. They're
no, they're
pretty
not
cheap.
dear.
Pretty cheap, really. And work very handy. Very handy.
Yeah, you don't want to end up standing trying to turn that stem for that. As I say, make it easy for yourself. Bits and pieces you can pick up all along the way. You don't have to turn. Yes. Who's going to know you didn't turn it? You know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wee bit of all right on that. Let's see.
Robert said he lost a bet on a one horse race one time. Yeah, yeah.
It didn't finish.
You bet on it to finish, and he laid down to take a nap, or vice versa. You said he wouldn't finish, and he ran it like a champion.
Or refused to come out of the stall.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching a race. It was a replay, not a major race, but it's for a nice little pot, and the horse didn't want to go into the gate, and then when they opened it, he wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
It was pretty comical, really. I'm sure it wasn't for that jockey.
That looks better. Give it a wee taste of sand sealer. I'll just use the spray can as we have it. I'll just give it a wee rub around. And again, we'll give it a wee taste of Yorkshire grit just to go through the motions and give it a wee final sand. And it's only a wee small piece, you know, it doesn't take that long. So, clean paper. That looks good. Just a wee taste of wax on the inside. Still got that tin, Doug.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's getting there. It is almost empty.
Well, that's what you said about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It's almost
Well,
empty.
yeah, there's still a wee bit in it, you know.
You're just putting a little kiss on that little rag.
Yeah, it doesn't mean much for all that.
Nah,
It's just a wee,
sure.
that wee rag's just, but it stays in the tin, so it doesn't dry out. So
Right,
it's always
right.
got wax on it, you know. So my
Absolutely.
thinking on it, you don't need nothing awful lot on it to use it, right? So as I said, I've done this wrong. I should have done the outside of the umbrella
Mm.
itself first, but never to worry about that. I want to take some of this timber away where we have it in this position. Again, shape of the umbrella is totally your decision. I think that will do it. And we'll get that into some sort of holding device. Where's my key? Pocket.
Looked up there just a second ago and cat was walking by in front of the lathe, and I'm thinking, how in the world did the cat get in here? I know I closed that door. My wife was bringing me coffee.
So this is the piece I was using yesterday for the hat to do turn it around. You can see the hot melt glue and stuff.
Yeah.
I stuck it in. So the idea that
Mike
would have went in
Advances with
there.
Aardvarks has joined us. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Mike. Welcome along. So just to deepen that a wee bit. Let's see if we can get this to sit in this. A wee bit too small. So you just want to creep up on this to make it a nice tight fit. Just get the skew chisel and use the point. Sometimes it's easier just to creep up on it. Where's the end to go? It's almost there. Just a slight wee bit to take out. There we are. It's in.
Ah.
It
Ah.
sits quite nicely in there. Again, I'm going to use a tailstock to just hold it there because it's in. But it'll help me take most of this timber away and then we'll remove the tailstock to finish the wee bit. There's quite a bit of timber there to take away yet. So spindle gouge.
Mike said he has to go get a cup of coffee. Just walked in and had a decent cup all day.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to have a decent cup of coffee for sure.
I just had to have a drink there too.
Absolutely. Somebody talks about it and then, oh yeah, I guess I better go get some. That is if you're a coffee drinker. If you're not a coffee drinker, then whatever it is that you prefer.
No, I don't. I don't drink coffee.
Somebody by the name of Full of Blarney has come in. Hello.
That's a new one.
It's a new one for me. Tell you what, Full of Blarney, if you want to give us your given name, we'd be glad to call you by that. We'd love to. In fact, we do that for most everybody. Dances with Aardvarks is Mike, and um, golly, there are others we know as well. Copper Owl is in, and we know his name is Robert or Rob. Um, several folks like that. So you're welcome to leave your Full of Blondie moniker up there. We just like to know what your name is, and your name is Bob. Well, hi, Bob. It's
Hi,
good to have
Bob.
you. Good to have you. Makes it a little more personal. Not just calling you by a moniker, but actually know your name. And some people may call you by your moniker. That's okay.
Just forming a wee sort of bubble on the top of that. Still the hole from the knife center. I think that's it now. So I just want to run around with my scraper. Just spinning now. I think that'll be all right. I got that sanded up. Might have to put a wee bit of tape on that to hold it. Let's see and find out. Yeah.
Bob tells us he's got an alternate YouTube moniker, Artful Bodger. I like that. That's good. All right, Gerard. Gerard is having his lunch served by the missus today. She's calling him. You have a good lunch, Gerard.
Just want to put something to hold that from spinning. We'll just bring that tailstock up onto that with that bit of wood. Don't want to
Absolutely.
drill another hole in it. Just to get the outside of that done.
Thank you, Todd. Todd is just let Bob know that I have a live tomorrow evening. I do. 3 o'clock my time, which is what 7 o'clock your all British time right now. Till y'all change your clocks here in a little bit. What, another week and a half or 2 weeks, something? 2 weeks, I guess. Bob, Paul is turning a Well, right this minute, he's turning the top side of what will be an umbrella for a woman figure. He's already turned the figurine. He's doing all the accessories at this point.
Stop that. We'd like to see if I'm happy enough with that before I take that away again. I think that's all right. Oh, near knocked my finger ring over.
And just left a little burn mark, didn't it?
Yep. Well, it's better than a hole, at least you can sand that
Absolutely.
off.
Absolutely. Easy to come off. Roy's the boy has joined us. Hello, Roy.
All right. And again, you could do anything decoration wise to the outside of your umbrella if you wished. But for today, I'm just going to leave it plain because there's still the arms to do.
No rush, Paul. I'm just letting you know you're an hour 15 in.
As long as you haven't anywhere to go, Doug, that'll be okay with me.
No, I don't have anywhere.
I don't like keeping people too long, but we'll just go with the flow here and see it to the end.
Yeah, just go with the flow.
And if you have to go, you have to go.
Roy's been busy trying to sort out some computer problems so he can do some video stuff. That's always a joy.
Yeah, it's not nice when it starts giving you problems.
Right. I am woefully behind on my video watching because I went over the weekend to my parents' house down in Louisville, Kentucky, and they have an electrical problem that I'm still mulling around in my head. I cannot figure out what in the world's
Somebody
going
mentioned
on.
that last night. Pete's Live, the power was out somewhere.
Wow.
One of the power poles was on fire somewhere, and it was all, look at all the power was out.
Goodness. Gary Glass has got to go. He says it all looks great, and he'll catch up later. Gary,
Thanks for coming in, Gary.
You have a great night, Gary, or a great afternoon. Yeah, Roy, it can take time. You just have to walk away once in a while. Yeah, the power outage was around Lewis. Yes. Okay. Yeah, my dad's power issue, it's one circuit. I can isolate the circuit, but I can't even find out what I was not able to figure out what breaker it was even controlling it. So I don't know. I've got to take some more. I didn't know he had a problem before he went, so I didn't have my meter, didn't have any of my tools. It's a series of overhead outlets. I don't know if it's one of the two switches or if it's in one of the outlets or maybe it's the breaker. I don't know. So we'll just have to see.
I'll just give a sweet spray of sun sealer.
Bob, it's going to take a tracer. Plugging something into the outlets, they're all dead, and I flipped every single breaker in the house trying to figure it out, and we could not figure it out. The outlets do not work. Oh, those receptacles. None of those overhead receptacles work. Those are the lights are plugged. It's a utility room, so the lights are plugged into receptacles, and there's a there's a water softener plugged into it as well, and it's just that whole string is not working. So I've got to get a circuit tracer and figure it all out.
So just applying some Yorkshire grit to that and give it a wee buff up and I'll finish off it.
Robert has offered Roy the solution to his computer problems. He's got a big hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've been
I was,
tempted a time or two.
I was going to say throw it out the window.
Yeah,
I've been
that
tempted
works.
at times, yep. I've been there.
Yeah, Bob.
Usually when you do an update, everything sort of goes wrong. I done an update on OBS there this afternoon, and the computer screen froze. Just
Uh-huh.
just ended up turning it all off again and starting.
Right.
and,
Yeah.
and it just rectified itself. You know, usually you find when you upgrade something, it's just it throws it off a wee bit. It doesn't want to work. Computer says no.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right, just a wee taste of wax on that, and we'll knock that out of there.
Yeah, Bob has suggested that we've got a bad switch or a ground fault interrupter. This particular string does not have a GFI on it, that we're aware of. So that's not it. Um, check this. Well, I checked the wiring to the switches. It's got a switch on both ends of this utility room, and I checked those. They're still connected and solid. Um, the
It'd be a,
electrician had plugged the wires in to the back of the
wee break
switch.
in the wire, Doug.
It could be. It could be
Whereas
a
it goes
lot of
into
things.
as it goes into the switch.
Yeah.
I've had that happen to me. It looks okay. It's wired into the switch, but
Right.
behind the sheath on the wire, it
Yes.
just broke.
Right. Yeah. These were, like I said, they had stripped just a bit off the back or off the end of the wire and plugged them in. I don't like that, so I cut them off of one and stripped the wires back, ran them into the screws like they're supposed to be done. That didn't make a bit of difference. In fact, that wire just has no power on it. Yeah, now if you can get it out.
Yeah. Now, where's my pencil? See, I thought ahead. I drilled the
There
hole in
you
proper,
go. There
you
you
know,
go. I was about to say, if you've got a hole, you got it made.
and I'll just show you what I'm doing. I'm just going to put the pencil in the bottom. There you are. Pop. It's great to have these wee bits of wood. Don't ever throw all your wee bits out, because
That's
do for
right.
jam chucks, you know. So we'll just fit the umbrella stem. So that's the umbrella, and that's our
There you
stem,
go.
and it just needs a wee clean around the edge there.
Robert suggested maybe a critter chewed through one of the wires. It's possible.
Yeah,
Um, what I can see of the wires is that's not an issue. So
many
doesn't mean
sockets
anything.
is in that on that run, Doug.
I was just trying to think of that. There's two switches, and I think there are three
I don't know
receptacles, three
what
outlets.
way your electrics work, but ours run like one in, one out on the next one. You know, so it's in a loop.
Right, right,
So if one switch is not working at the start, none of the switches will work.
right, right.
You know.
Uh, and Bob has asked if it is a three-way switch. And that may be part of
Right,
our problem, Bob. Um, the
right.
guy who
I'm
did the electrical work on this house
just
was
going to put
fired
this back
about
in the chuck a wee second. I've a wee bit of work to do at the head to make it sit right. It's just not sitting where I wanted it. So I'm just going to take a wee bit off the head,
okay.
and then we'll move on to the Well, you're not going to see it, you know.
The electrician that did the initial work was fired about a month after he did this job, and the man who owned the company died. So that company doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, we don't know what's going on. The switch that I checked, there, like I said, there's a switch on each end of the room. The switch I checked actually was not a three-way, and that could be the problem, that it finally just made those switches go bad. But like I said, I didn't have my meter, so I couldn't actually check the switch itself.
That's better.
That's better.
Right.
That'll work great.
I want to cut this off when I have the opportunity. And then we'll go on to the arms.
Well, yeah, you're Bob, you're right. And you all use 220 as your basic wire, where we use 120 or 110, whatever.
I just want to slightly undercut the back. Okay, that's the bottom cut off that. So I'll just try that again. And that looks lovely. Right. So we're on to the arms. And again, there's a wee bit of footery work with the arms. You turn them down. So I've made, let's see where I've went ahead and just really turned them. Okay, so we're going to cut them. I'm going to shape them. Okay, so just to save time,
Sure.
A wee bit of prep work.
A little bit here and there.
Yep. What am I looking for, Paul? Oh, I'm a sanding disc. And this sanding disc comes on handy for shaping your arms so that it fits on the body. And I found this in the cupboard today. It's a piece of 40 grit.
It's the red brick.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna let's see. I'm just gonna sand it with a bit of wood to see to take most of that rough grit off it, because it'll tear the wee arms apart. So. Well, that's not bad. I'm scared of it going too bad. So these, right, I'll cut them on the lathe, cut those ends off, and then we'll have those between center and that. Yeah. So we'll just put the step center back in the chuck. I'll just finish those off, and then I can cut them. Where to put them? Oh, there they are. So just put them back in between center. I just want to mark the ends of them with a skew so it's cut off, and you can just bend the piece off. And usually the length I have on these is probably long enough, because if you look at some arms on the pictures of pieces people have done, the position the arms in such a way that they don't have to be very long. So that's the end. So we'll just cut that in half. The best way to do it is to take it over to the figure and see where you want to come down to. So I reckon about halfway, and it doesn't matter what you cut this with. I'm just going to cut it with a hacksaw in half, and then we'll shape the angle we need for to put it together. So I'm just looking for some to cut this on. Just bear with me, guys. I'll have to go over here and get a. Or you can just use the bandsaw, Paul. Sometimes you forget yourself, you have these tools. So if that was coming down there, we need to angle that. And then, sorry, excuse me, angle the elbow. All's going quiet. Are you still there?
Everything's good. Everything's good.
Oh. I thought that something had happened. Right. So get in there. Take that out. And we're put our landing disc back on this. Now this is the way I do it. It's not probably the way you would go about it, but this is how I'm doing it. And if you find a better way to do it, you just go ahead and do it. So we want an angle so that you're not left with a big lump of wood. So just sand a bit of that away. And then you've got to flat the glue the piece on. So it looks a bit better when it joins the side. You see that okay? Yeah.
Yep.
And then
yep.
this one has the bottom on it. So you want to watch what way you hold the peg or your bit of wood to join the elbow. So we'll just go with a normal, that looks like 45 on that, and stick our arms roughly together and bring it up to the piece. And I would be happy if that was there, because you have to remember the umbrella is going through here and up through the shoulder and then up. So if that was somewhere there, that would probably be okay. So and then that you have a wee bit of timber to take off the bottom of that. And it doesn't have to be a hand shape. You can do all sorts of work with it and make it look like a hand and stuff. But for the beige, what do you call it, demo, we'll just go through it and see what way that goes. Now that's changed the angle, so I need to change the angle on this piece. I need a bit more going that way. And it takes a wee bit of time to get the right angle on it, so just take your time, and it helps with the bottom part of the arm. It's stuck on it. You can usually tell better what way it's going to sit. Right, I'm going to glue these two bits together. I'm just going to get the glue.
I was wondering if that might help.
I just found when I started doing this yesterday, I had very little glue on the bottom of my wee thing, and the shop is shut today, so I couldn't go and get one. So hopefully this will be enough on it. glue the elbows together, and then we can see what it's like. It takes forever coming out of the nozzle, and then just as you're waiting for it, a big blob comes out, and it's too much. So there's enough on that, and right, that's that bit. So I'll put a wee bit of accelerator on the R part, and just glue those two together. Watching not to glue your fingers together.
Yes,
there.
because that stuff does stick to fingers.
So
Don't ask me how I know.
that's that one. So, you know, you can take a wee bit of time and you can sand that up and stuff. So there's one arm. So we'll go on to the arm one. And I'm just going to sand that knob off, and then it's just wee bits of scrap I had laying in the box. So it's either it could be sycamore, it could be anything. So I'll go and cut this with a bandsaw in half again. Turn that off for a second. We could do a wee bit of a working board to work on here. You ever move some stuff around and get a wee board? Oh, there. Right. That's better. You can see all the bits there. That's that arm. So this arm, looking at it, it comes down straight, and it's probably a bit smaller than the R arm. So we'll put the bevel on. And see what way that sits. So there. I could do probably taking a wee bit off that length. So we'll take a wee bit off that, and then reshape that. It's just you have to fiddle around with it just to get the way you want it to sit, and then that arm or hand will come over here. So remember what your 45s are. So you want your corresponding one to be on the same plane as that one. We'll just make it a wee bit more steeper, just to get it roughly an idea where it's going, and some similar to that one. So when you put that one on there, and that goes on there, right? Okay, we'll stick those two together, and we can trim it down on the sanding disc. Just rubbing the wee fluffy bits off the end of it. Just so you can fiddle around with these and sand the ends of them, and make them all nice and stuff, you know. So, right, what bit's what? That was the top. So it's that bit. It's the glue. So, we test the glue. Come on. Doesn't want to come out. Oh, there we are. And we want a wee bit of accelerator on that one. Turn around. You want to stick that to that. Oh, my finger's stuck. Right, I got it
Just
off.
talked about that. Just talked about that.
Oh, stuck again. Finger. So, arm on the side. That looks reasonable, you know, looking at it. I'll just turn that on. See if I can tidy that up a wee bit. That looks a wee bit better. Yeah. So that's the top, that's the bottom. So I think that arm, I want to change the angle on that. This is where you can get a better look at it now. You have the elbow formed. You want that arm to come away down as you're looking at it. And it probably can go a wee bit more. I'm just going by the picture. Oh, there's the glue broke. I'll have to glue it again. The angle they have in the picture of the one I've seen. So, saying that disc is a wee bit rough on it. It just busted the glue joint. Oh, too much. There's everywhere now.
Yeah. Now you're gonna wear it for a month on your hand,
and you're sitting at night and you're picking and eating it to get it off your fingers.
I've had fairly good luck using hot water and a lot of soap, just scrubbing away.
Yeah.
And, you can get the biggest part of it off that way. That's a good thing.
Just take a wee fuzzies off the end of that. I think I'm happy enough where it is. Just give the elbow a wee clean. I'll just get an wee look at the fit. And that looks all right. That wants to come down to her waist. Right, that one's okay. Where's the other one? Need to clean the elbow up. Take a wee bit off that. So if you make the angle too steep, you can always sand it away. There's nothing hard about doing the pieces up. It's just where'd that go?
Until you lose it. Shoot it across the world.
If you get a wee catch, it's best to let go of it or break it. I say that sanding disc I have is probably too coarse for it. So that's all right. But this is where the time comes in to making a piece like this. You have to spend an awful lot of time just making the wee pieces right and fitting, and do the wee bit of sanding to the joints, so they sort of look like they're meant to be there. And we'll just try that back onto the side again, and that looks okay. Right, happy enough with that. So we'll glue them. I did try yesterday gluing these with super glue, but they didn't want to stick to the piece. So I came up with a hot glue.
There you go.
And the best about this is you can put a big blob on it and then position it where you want and leave it sitting. So look to see what grain you have. So that looks nice at the front there. So you want that to be somewhere. Oh, that's warm. Somewhere there.
Hot glue, Paul. Hot
And
glue.
don't worry about the glue squeeze out. That'll come off. Just let it harden on its own. See if you poke at it and try to break it off. Now, the arm will fall off. So it will. It's best to just leave it and let the hot melt cool on its own. So put a big blow up on that one.
You think the CA didn't stick because you had wax on it, maybe?
Yeah, probably. Well, that's what I thought. Doug, I didn't want to end up sanding it, so
Sure.
and making a mess of the joint. So
Well, and
that comes to
hot glue is another one of those glues that we use fairly often. It's a good tool if we have it.
yeah. So you can see the two arms are coming in each arm, trying to hold it while it part cools down a wee bit so I can set it down again. The one I done yesterday, I left it sitting and it made a nice tight glue joint.
Yes.
Then I went round with a Stanley knife very carefully and cut the excess off when it was nice and hard.
Yeah.
And if you do have problems with it, you can heat it up with a hairdryer and just soften it a wee bit, and then it'll help you get those wee bits off. Okay, so and I know it looks a wee bit rough at the minute, but once that's cleaned off and that's it in place. So your hat is next. So you want the hat, and depending what way you can put it at an angle. Again, just a big blob in the blip and plop it on top. And the same thing, whatever squeezes out, you can usually cut away with a wee. I put it the angle on the hat so it she's looking sort of like that there. Okay. So the R part is our umbrella. Now where's our stick? And again, the umbrella part it comes to wherever you want it to be, and so we'll put a wee bit of glue on that and stick that in as well. And you can clean all these wee bits up afterwards when it's nice and set. So I'm just putting it in, and I just want to just take that sharp point off that. And the easiest way I find for the positioning the umbrella is to go through just to here and the shoulder and put a wee bit drop of glue on it and at the shoulder and let it sit on it, and then you can pick away at it. You get most of the stuff away. You need to hold that until it's set. I don't put my finger in that. I'm trying to wet my finger to go round that. Oh, no, don't do that, Paul.
Chris says you can see her face better if she had a face.
Just hiding, just walking down the street and she's got her hat tilted from the sun.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to blow this to make it stick. Right, I think that'll hold. Okay. Okay. So, oh no, there's a way again. I'm gonna have to lay it down flat.
Lay it down or just hold it for a few minutes till it
Right.
cool.
Again, You can make a wee handbag and you can put it in her hand. You could work around with a Dremel and you could make a wee shape for a hand to fit the wee handbag in and all this here. All these things you could do with it, but I'm not doing any of that
Ooh.
the day. I just wanted
Yeah,
to show you the initial one. So the piece I done yesterday, where's my tailstock?
lots of ideas can come out of these. Todd said it would be neat to have a umbrella that's segmented. That would be
Yes.
neat.
So
You do all kinds of things.
let's see
Isn't
if I
she
can
a darling?
get the camera. So there's yesterday's and there's today's. And spending how much time you want to spend on them and get all the wee things perfect, you know, and you can make a nice wee item to sell, and they do sell well, so they do. Especially do a glue up different contrasting woods for the dress.
Uh-huh.
You could have a dark dress at the bottom, and you get darker wood. It's a whole lot you could do with it.
Absolutely.
It's just not a one-off thing, and
Yeah.
the you could do segment it for the hat or the umbrella itself, or you could color it. You could put a pattern on it. So once that's nice and dry, I'll cut around that with the Stanley knife and take
Yeah.
all those wee bits of glue off and then give it a cool polish. So that's the one I done yesterday, and it's more or less along the same lines. But
Hmm.
there you are, guys. Uh,
I've seen these with just the hat, no arms, no umbrella, and they
yes,
look very nice.
yeah, just
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
But this is another step, just takes it another step further. Absolutely. Getting some
yeah.
nice
And
comments there.
if you want to go down the Oriental route, you can make a wee Chinese lady,
Absolutely.
and you can put a wee piece on it. You know, as I say, it's how how you see it and how much work you want to put into it. What we saying? We're coming on 2 hours here, so there's 2 hours just to roughly make that. And I done a wee bit of prep work before, so you could easily spend 3 hours making one of those.
Hmm.
You know,
Easily.
you know.
Or, and if you're not talking about it with everybody in the world like you are today, you could probably do it a little quicker with a little bit of
Yeah,
practice.
yeah, you could, you
Absolutely.
could.
Absolutely.
But
Getting some nice compliments there, Paul. You did a great
that
job.
it's a nice wee project to do in your shed on your own because you can just get into the zone and you can get the shape of the body right and the flowing dress down to the bottom, and then your head, get it positioned right, your hat, and then your arms. The arms are the biggest, not the hardest part, but it takes a wee bit more finessing with them, just to get them to sit right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But there you are, guys. That's my wee demonstration for the day. I hope you all enjoyed that
Very good.
and
Yeah,
maybe
it's
give you
great.
some ideas to get into your shed and do a wee lady like that and let your creativity flow. Yeah, your activity,
Absolutely.
you know,
Creativity, yeah.
creativity. Uh, so,
Very good.
so there we are, guys. I'll just bring Doug back into the screen and I'll change
You don't need that.
on onto me. So, guys, thanks very much, guys, for coming over. I'll move back here because that light's shining on my head and there's too much shine off it.
Good job, Paul. Good job on
Okay,
the
guys,
work and
thanks very much.
explanation.
And I hope to see you the next time. And we'll see what I've come up with next Monday. We're coming into Easter, so it could be something to do with Easter. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe.
Maybe. So thank you guys for taking the time to come over and watch the live. I really appreciate it. So I'll say
Good compliments, Paul. Good compliments. You
thank
did it
you,
well.
everyone.
Did a good job.
So thank you, everyone, and I'll say cheerio, and Doug will say cheerio.
Bye bye. Hope to
Bye.
see y'all tomorrow night. Bye bye.
Bye.